I am Nitisha. I'm going to explain what is segregation of duties and its importance as an internal control. Ms. Samiksha is going to give an overview of what kind of duties are to be segregated, and Mr. Devesh will be discussing about the consequences of a breach in segregation of duties and how to resolve these issues. We will also provide a real-life example where segregation of duties has been breached. Thank you for your attention. Segregation of duties consists of policies and procedures designed to prevent frauds and errors by ensuring that at least two individuals are responsible for the separate of any task. This is considered as one of the most effective internal control, and it is an important part of protecting companies' assets, such as money, inventory, and employee information. It is therefore difficult to commit fraud since at least two persons are assigned together to perform the work and ensure that there is oversight and review to catch errors. For example, one person can place an order, but another person must record the transaction in the accounting records. When segregation of duties is well implemented, it creates accountability among employees who are responsible for specific areas of the cycle and prevent collusion. However, segregation of duties can be a disadvantage to small departments and limited number of personnel as it is difficult to separate duties, then compensating control should be implemented. It is also much less efficient and more time consuming than having a single person be responsible for all aspects of a transaction. Now I will leave the floor to Ms. Samiksha. Thank you.
Thank you, Yitzia. Hello, I'm going to talk about what duties need to be segregated and why. Segregation of duties involves the separation of three main functions, namely custody, authorization, and recording. Custody is the process of having access to or control over any physical assets such as cash, checks, supplies, materials, or equipment. Some examples are having access to any funds through the collection of funds or processing of payments, custodian of petty cash or change fund, receiving any goods or services, maintaining inventories, and handling or distributing paychecks or other checks. Authorization is the process of reviewing and approving transactions or operations. Some examples are verifying cash collections and daily balancing reports, approving purchase requisitions or purchase orders, approving timesheets, payroll certifications, leave requests, and cumulative leave records, and approving change orders, computer system design, or programming changes. Record keeping is the process of creating and maintaining records of revenues, expenditures, inventories, and personnel transactions. These may be manual records or records maintained in automated computer systems. Some examples are preparing cash receipt backups or billings, purchase requisitions, payroll certifications, and leave records, entering charges or posting payments to account receivable system, and maintaining inventory records. Why duties need to be segregated? The duties need to be segregated to be able to provide assurance that the transactions are first valid, second accurately reported, and lastly in compliance with rules and regulations. Thank you.
Segregation of duties, also known as separation of duties, is an internal control used by organizations to prevent fraud from happening. Authorization, recording, and custody of assets should be performed by different employees. There should be a separation between collection of incoming funds, preparation of receipts, approval of deposits, reconciliation of deposited funds, and so on. This is called segregation of duties. Breach of segregation of duties happens when there is collusion between two workers. There are many examples where there has been a breach of this effective internal control. The most famous example of breach in segregation of duties is the Alberta Motor Association, which is also known as the AMA. In brief, Mr. Gladden, who was a former vice president of the company, did a breach in segregation of duties and used the company services funds to purchase his own assets, such as an apartment, an office, vehicles, and so on. In order to avoid a breach in segregation of duties, company needs to segregate more, employ more workers, Do employee head supervisor who will have control in the business. Only responsible members should have access to important stuffs of the company. More installation of security cameras and so on. Coming to cameras, sometimes separation of duties is very costly and difficult to achieve. In companies where it is expensive, installation of more security cameras will be an alternate way of separation of duties. We will now present to you a real-life example of segregation of duties which happened in AMA company. Hello, Kumba. Why is it delaying your services?
What?
But payment has already been done since February 2014. Okay. Okay, I'll call my lawyer to investigate.
Hello?
Hello? Can we meet now? It's urgent.
Okay, I'm coming.
Hello everyone. We are sorry to bring all of you here. The matter is very critical. Kumbuak told me that no payment has been done. I have been financing for the past 3 years. Where are the bills? Where is the money? Responsible members, please bring me all the relevant documents.
Can you tell us about the fraud that occurred in AMA company?
There's no way she could be living this lifestyle without conducting what was called a brazen and substantial fraud. Ms. Cadet alleged people of a scheme that involved fabricated invoice between roughly 30,000 US dollars to 450 US dollars and electronic transfer to American bank accounts. We lawyers of AMA is going to conduct an investigation on both sides of border. Ms. Cadet and associated companies defrauded it of at least 8.2 million US dollars between January 2013 to June 2016. This is all I can say to the media about the fraud that occurred in AMA company. Thank you. Can I come in, sir? Sir, I have done all the investigation on Coco app. How is it possible to have only Miss Cadet's name on all the invoices?
I was checking the bills online and with the same information. Miss Kadat names work everywhere. We need to talk to her. Where is she? Where is Miss Kadat?
Miss Karat is on vacation for the past 2 months because of her leg injury.
How is it possible to have Miss Cadat's name in all these invoices?
Mr. Budu, you were responsible for all the invoices?
But I gave all the invoices to Miss Kadat.
Have been a breach in segregation of duties. We need to see Miss Kadat right now.
Goodbye!